But once again, um, hope you will be blessed by the sound of my voice, of what I got to say. Not because of my voice, but what I'm saying with my voice. Okay? So, this topic here is about uh, the consequences of be dating somebody while backslidden, and basically, you know, dating and you are not apart from God, basically, and the consequences of it. So, let me get into a some examples that I hope you guys will understand. All right. Here's one that I will bring up. Okay. As many others. Okay. So we got the story of Joshua and how um, the fact that he didn't consult the Lord when it came to um, dealing with these strangers who said they were refugees. Okay. And basically, these weren't refugees, these were kings who wanted to defeat Israel because they heard about Israel's, exploits of how they defeated the people of Jericho, how they defeated, you know, the Canaanite, sorry, not the Canaanites. Well, they did defeat them. They heard about the many exploits of the children of Israel, how they defeated many tribes. Okay. And they were afraid. So they came up with a way of looking like refugees. Okay. And looking like they were poor and they're from a foreign land. Okay. And Joshua, instead of consulting the Lord, he decided to make a covenant with these people, only to find out that they were not who they claimed to be. They ended up being the enemies of Israel. Okay. Now, when I say with this, now what could I be meaning with this, right? What am I trying to say? When you go out there backsliding and date, people that are not Christian, they could lie to you. Okay, these people who are not Christian are the devil's children, and they will lie to you. Okay, to get what they want. If they heard about, especially if they heard that maybe you were once Christian, or you think you're Christian, but you don't really ask God for any input when it comes to the most important things of your life, especially dating. Okay. And they deceive you. And next thing you know, you're in the next situation and you have to deal with it. Okay. Now, when I talk about this, I mean like possibly, you end up having a kid with this woman, or this man ends up getting you pregnant, and you have to deal with it. That's it. As a Christian, you can't get an abortion. All right. And this is the situation that you're dealing with. Okay. That's one example. Okay. The fact also with, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 is the fact that it says that we have to guard our heart, from out of it comes the issues of life. Okay. When you're backslidden or you just don't have that commitment to God to ask him about the things of your life, you're asking your heart, you're putting yourself in a position to get led away by your heart. Okay. People say, follow your heart, follow your heart. And a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, the heart is going to lead you in the wrong direction, because the Bible says the heart is wicked and deceptively evil. The heart's function is to pump blood through the body. That's it. Okay. A lot of people in this world today don't even understand that. They look at your heart. Heart's not meant, you're not meant to be led by your heart. Okay. And this is how we as Christians end up being led astray and being destroyed by our own choices, especially the choices with the opposite sex. All right. And that's the thing. Okay. You get pulled down into sin. You also look at Numbers chapter 25, verses 1 to 18. Okay. When you look at the excuse me, when you look at the Israelites when they were doing good on a winning streak, but they fell into sin. Okay. Because Balaam, the prophet, Mesopotamia, he was basically trying to curse the Israelites for money for a pagan king, and ended up going the wrong way. He ended up blessing the Israelites. Okay. And it ended up that a scheme was concocted basically to get the Israelites to sin with pagan women. All right. And let me read you what happened with that. Okay. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of the gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself to Baal Peor. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the herds of the people and hang them before the Lord against the sun, and the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one of his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, and the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both them through the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Okay, let me read it a little further. And and those that died in the plague were 24,000. 24,000 people lost their lives because they chose to get sex. Okay, and they were told time and time again, you cannot have sex with pagan people. These people do not have sex. To have no relations with these pagans. They are the enemy. And the thing is, with us Christians, we have a hard head, and we let situations in our lives, whether we cause it ourselves, okay, or not, that we end up being lonely and looking for comfort in people that are the enemy of God. Not living for God, not Christian, they're the enemy of God. Okay. And what happens is that we end up getting punished for it. Either we get caught up in a situation where we end up getting an unplanned pregnancy, and the person doesn't want to be with us anymore. They're unfaithful, and they have bad tendencies, evil tendencies that we didn't look at before. And we ignored the red flags, and now you're chained to that person in a covenant type way for the next 18 years. You may end up having to pay child support, or you have to take that person to court for child support because he's not willing to provide for the kid. Okay, skirmishes, arguments, all because we chose to listen to our flesh and what we wanted at the moment instead of holding on to God. Okay, and that's basically what happened. Okay, I mean, there's a whole bunch of consequences. Even if it could be anything. You may end up dying. May catching an STD. The person may be unfaithful and give you an STD. All types of things. All right. Even in the Bible, it talks about in the book of Hebrews about warning warning the Christians in the book of Hebrews not to give up, not to turn back to sin. Okay, warning about not falling away. Okay, in Hebrews chapter 6, verses 1 to 8. Okay, and the fact of the matter is very few of us will make it. This is just the honest to God truth. Very few of us will make it, and this right here is a pitfall to many of us. Okay, in this faith, struggling to try even endure this faith, but if we're willing to take the pain, we can make it. You know what they say, if you could take it, you can make it. And that's just the honest truth of it all. Okay. Sexual immorality really will take us down. That's basically what it is. Okay. Just look at the Old Testament, the Jews in the desert. Okay. Only 2 from the old generation endured the trial, so was able to survive. The rest were of the younger generation. Okay. Also, look at another thing, right? Heaven's measurements, New Jerusalem, right? The measurements stay the same, but hell always enlarges itself. That's the fight we're up against, and it's brutal, and it's hard. But if we put our faith in Jesus, we could win if we want to win, or we want to just give up and just not learn the life lesson. Okay. And just keep following our own path to destruction. The choice is ours to make. Okay. All right. That's all I got to say for now. Okay. Hope you are blessed. Later.